In the coming months, I think there's a good chance this stock will reach $400. For any growth investor, this is an obvious choice. While you can, get in. The first 50 customers receive 50% off anything in our store for a short period of time. Don't pass this up. This deal won't be around for long. Hurry immediately to save a ton of money. Be among the first 50, so act quickly. Use the link below to shop right now. Later this month, Nvidia will release its profits. What do we hope to find here? Have we tempered expectations? Going into them, is the bar a little bit lower? In terms of August 28th, I believe it will be a drop-the-mic moment. These earnings are likely to be the most significant we've seen in the last 4 or 5 years from any corporation. The best indicator of what we observe in terms of spending is Jensen's speech, the godfather of AI. We recently returned from Asia, where demand is steadily increasing. I believe this is crucial because, as the year draws to a close, we anticipate that tech will continue to rise. For this reason, we believe that the Nasdaq will continue to trade at 20,000 as early as 2025. Are you referring to China or another country when you claim that demand is ripping greater in Asia? I'm referring more generally to the supply chain's observations and how they manifest from a chip standpoint. The growth scare comes up again. We just pay attention to demand. And if you look at Nvidia, the Messi of AI player, and what we saw from Microsoft and the larger cloud players, all the breadcrumbs are there. From an AI standpoint, ServiceNow is now accelerating, and I believe the street is still underestimating it in relation to the figures, which is why, even if many bears have been emerging out of hibernation mode over the past 2 weeks, I still think it's time to pound the table and own our winners in tech. We just went over a lot of territory, but the hyperscalers haven't been covered yet. Do some of the other areas we just discussed benefit from AI, or are those a good investment right now? The hyperscalers, particularly Microsoft and what Nvidia has done, as well as Google, are, in my opinion, greatly profiting from this. When you look at that basket, you should, in my opinion, concentrate on Microsoft since Amazon is crucial to the next layer of AI. With a $3.4 trillion market capitalization, we think Microsoft, the godfather of AI, along with Nvidia and, of course, Apple with Cupertino, will be leading the AI-driven supercycle in a year. Wedbush Securities' top tech analyst, Dan Ives, believes that Nvidia's stock may soon reach $400 per share. He has a number of strong arguments for this prediction. The primary motivator is Nvidia's unparalleled dominance in the artificial intelligence industry. Nvidia's GPUs are now crucial for enabling these developments as AI continues to transform industries globally. Nvidia is at the vanguard of the rapidly increasing demand for machine learning models and AI-driven data centers. Here's what you think of Nvidia. Just this week, the stock has increased by 18.5%. What do you think of this stock, which has risen 35% since Monday's low? Indeed, it's amazing to have a company with one of the top 5 market capitalizations in the world and one of the highest beta names. This stock has its own casino due to its daily and even intraday fluctuation. People are betting on the next $2 up or down in this stock at any given moment, as evidenced by the volume of options activity with Nvidia that occurs every day and weekly. The volumes of options activity we are discussing amount to billions of dollars. I say this to emphasize that not everything that happens on your screen is a reference to the underlying state of Nvidia, AI spending, or technology in general. Not every 10% increase or decrease is significant and may be undone in a matter of seconds. Making a decision today is crucial. If you own stock in Nvidia, are you able to ignore the intraday, 3-day, and 5-day volatility? The situation is different if you are a trader. You're having a great time if you trade. You may be both long and short in a single day. But I don't think that's what the majority of our viewers are looking for. Therefore, the best course of action for Nvidia this year is to avoid getting overly excited whenever the price fluctuates. First up, Nvidia is up about 20% this week after bouncing back above a critical mark today and continuing a 4-day winning streak. Your trade on that stock you love? As Nvidia gets ready to introduce next-generation technologies that will further secure its market domination, Ives thinks that this spike in demand will keep driving the company's stock higher. Nvidia's steady financial outperformance is contributing to this trend. Due to its outstanding business model, the company has consistently produced quarterly earnings that beyond Wall Street's forecasts. Ives points out that Nvidia's forecast for the next quarters is especially encouraging, supported by a pipeline of cutting-edge technologies that should result in a notable increase in revenue. Investor confidence has been boosted by this track record of financial success, making the $400 aim more attainable in the near future. I'm going to advise you, Tyler, to purchase your cherished stock with caution. You have to wade into that water if you don't own it. The market's hottest spot is here. This stock will do well as long as there is a competition to develop AI and to continue doing so. Over the next 5 years, they still anticipate a 40% increase in this company's earnings. With this significant increase in earnings, it has decreased from 48 times 2024 earnings to 34 times next year. As a result, it is accomplished exquisitely. It is, in fact, a cyclical region. It likely has a few years remaining, but even at a $3 trillion market valuation, I believe the AI momentum propelling those earnings can push this company higher. Therefore, this is a dollar cost average if you wish to establish a position. I believe so. I would like a position if this area were left empty. It must be consistent with your investment philosophy and discipline, but it need not be a complete position. It must therefore be a risk that is suitable for your portfolio. Consult your advisor. You can't describe this week's market without mentioning the chips SEMA. Yes, Scott, you truly cannot. In such a short time, sentiment changed. 2 weeks ago, Nvidia reported a Blackwell delay, which caused other chip stocks to plummet in addition to Nvidia's. However, it took a few days for Wall Street analysts to swiftly recognize that a 3-month delay would not have a significant impact on profitability because of the continued high demand for their current graphics processing unit, the Hopper H100. Even though AMD is competing to some extent, Nvidia's market share cannot be taken by any other company. As the 28th draws along, we anticipate that Nvidia's stock will have increased by more than 177% this week alone. The semiconductor industry as a whole and the ETFs that track these stocks are benefiting from this week, which is the best since May of last year. However, AI is not the end of the tale. Additionally, Nvidia has a strong market position in other, quickly expanding industries including cloud computing, driverless cars, and gaming. The company's innovative developments in data processing units and AI chips are increasing its market share and creating new sources of income. Ives notes that a major factor in his optimistic assessment of Nvidia is this company's diverse growth plan. Being good at one thing isn't enough. The company stands out from its rivals since it is thriving in several high-growth markets. Lastly, investor opinion of Nvidia is still overwhelmingly favorable. The stock's price is rising as more and more investors rush to the company to take advantage of its leadership in AI and other developing technologies. Ives thinks that Nvidia's outstanding financial performance and strategic posture, along with the high level of investor interest, will make it possible for the company to hit $400 per share in the upcoming months. Since everything is in place for Nvidia to keep growing, this price objective is not only possible but also likely to happen. Okay, welcome to Fast Money once more. The use of semiconductors is growing. This week has been their greatest since March 2023. For your information, the SEMA ETF has increased by about 10% since Monday. All of the fund members were up then. With a roughly 19% increase, who else led the gains? Nvidia. Although it was only by roughly 5%, Intel did manage to make a gain. However, Tim, if you own stock in Intel, you're probably pleased that the company has increased at all. What do you think of this huge comeback, an 18% increase for Nvidia? Yes, Brian, and no remarks regarding the Intel shareholder front. When I look at the semi-final move, they're up almost 23% if you take that intraday low on Black Monday in Japan. Pardon me, August 5th. Once more, I would refer to their peak, which occurred on July